Hello friends! Welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Danny and today I'm going to walk you through the end of year book tag. This tag actually isn't meant to be done at the end of the year. It's meant to be done, I think, at the end of the third quarter, so I'm a little late to the game, but I thought it would be fun to go through these questions and kind of reflect on what I need to do before the end of the year. I think it's going to help me get my head in the game for Bucket List-a-thon. So that's what the intention is. If you guys would like to follow along and answer these questions in the comments down below, I would love to know what your responses are as well. The first question in this tag feels a little bit like a call out, to be honest. And that is, are there any books that you have started this year that you need to finish before the end of the year? And I'll say two that I have actually started within the last couple of months that I would like to finish before the end of the year, and both of them are on my Kindle, which is why it's taking me quite a while to get through them. The first one is A Society of Unknown Objects, which is by Gareth Brown, who wrote The Book of Doors, which was almost my favorite book of the year last year. It just barely missed out by, the very last second I read When Did Truth by Brandon Sanderson, and that ended up getting my #1 spot. So I was very excited about this book. It is a Kindle book, and I only read my Kindle when I'm going to bed. So it gets like 5 to 10 minutes of read time every day, which is why it's going so slow. I'm currently 64% of the way into it, and I have considered DNFing a couple of times. The book isn't bad by any means, but it's not what my heart wants from my memories of reading The Book of Doors. I don't feel like it's quite at that level, and I will finish it. I want to finish it. It's a NetGalley book, not that I have to finish it because of that, but that's one of the reasons I would like to continue. And I'm intrigued enough. It's just taking me forever. And then another book, I don't know why I made the decision to make this a Kindle book, because it will literally take me an entire year if I don't make a plan to actually read from my Kindle. And that is Ship of Magic by Robin Hobb. And funny enough, I also have considered DNFing this one. I know there are a ton of people out there that love it, so please don't come for me. I'm not sure that this series is for me. I loved the first Fitz trilogy, the Farseer trilogy. I might just skip Live Ship Traders and go to the next Fitz series, which I know is a hot take. A lot of people do not like the Fitz series, but they like the Live Ship Traders. I don't know. I'm just not a fan of what's happening right now. I'm only I think I might be 10% into it, and it's so chunky, so I have a while to go. But both of those are books that I've started this year. This next one is the reason I said that this is a call out, because this is a book I have been reading since last year, and it's been on my currently reading on Goodreads for this entire year, the year of 2025, because I couldn't finish it in December of last year, and I was like, I'll just carry it into January and finish it, and I never did. So at this point, I'm gonna have to reread it, and that's Fury of the Gods. This is the last book in the Bloodsworn saga, and I was enjoying it. I got halfway through, or almost halfway through, and I just, the end of the year caught up with me. I didn't have enough time to, because this is a physical read for me, and it just lost steam, and I didn't pick it up. And honestly, there's a TBR Harvest bookmark in here that I thought I lost, and it is just because I've been reading this book for over a year. So this is really the book that I need to finish before the end of the year. I will make it a goal for Bucket List-a-thon, because I am going to focus on my physical TBR. I also would like to finish some series, and so this is the perfect storm in Bucket List-a-thon, so hopefully that will get done. The next question is really the reason that you should answer these questions or do this tag prior to the end of October, because it is, do you have any transitional autumnal reads that you read in order to get yourself into the fall mood? And I have. I'm going to take this as a means of just giving you recommendations if you're struggling to get into spooky season, into fall vibes. I do think that these two books are quite lovely and do fit the mold, but aren't your traditional, I know a lot of people are recommending a horror around this time and scary reads. And I have one, but it's a little lighter because it's a middle grade. I actually have two books. The first one is The Language of Ghosts, which is by Heather Fawcett, who wrote the Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairy series, which is why I read it, or why I wanted to read it in the first place. But it's very cute. It does have dark stuff in it, but being that it's a middle grade, it is on the lighter side. You're following a trio of siblings. You have the brother the older brother, who has a whole bunch of magic, is considered, I can't remember, they had a name for them, but he can do multiple types of magic, which is very rare. And he is one of the most powerful magicians in the world. And that comes at a cost. It could potentially make him go to the dark side. So his sister, he has two sisters, but his eldest sister is trying to, or has made it her goal in life, to make sure that he does not become a dark person, that he stays with the light. And because of things going on in their kingdom, they end up having to flee, and they create a magical island where the island literally, I don't know if it floats or if it just moves around in the sea. I think it just moves around in the sea. And they have a sea monster that follows them around as well, who loves cake. It's very sweet, but like I said, it does have a darker side. The magic systems in general can be very dark, and some of the things that happen I was a little shocked by, but in the end, it is like a kind of heartwarming family story of these siblings trying to take care of one another. So I would definitely recommend. Next, if you're not into middle grade, I did want to give just an example of kind of a darker, maybe fantasy mystery, and that is The Hexologist by Josiah Bancroft. I reread this past month in September to get ready for the sequel that's coming out, or no, it already did come out, The Tangle of Time, or A Tangle of Time. I love the couple in this. It is and War, who are hexologists. They literally can create hexes that do different things, and they are living in, I can't remember if it actually says that it's London, but it's a city similar to London, and their job is to work for the common man and get things safe, make things safe for these individuals. So if, they have a supernatural creature who's stealing babies, they go out and try and investigate, figure out what it is, and then solve the problem. Well, the crown, the royalty, has come to them with an issue. They don't typically work for the crown. They have rules against that and really don't like it, especially is. And there are some reasons why they do end up taking the job, and you get to solve the mystery along with them as to this thing that has happened that the crown really wants solved. I think this is a lot of fun. Like I said, I love the relationship between Iz and War. They are, I think, in their 30s, if I remember correctly. They've been married for a while. They are very comfortable with one another and are just each other's safe space, and they are complete opposites. War, even though he is a very large man and looks intimidating, has a heart of gold, and does seem kind of cold to everyone around her, but she really does have a heart for making sure that people are taken care of and that the right thing is done. But she has some fire in her as well. She doesn't let people walk over her, which I just love. So it's a very fun series. Now I'm excited to pick up the sequel. So if you are looking for a fantasy mystery, this is one I would highly recommend. Number 3 is there a new release that you are still waiting for? And I'm just going to shout out Strength of the Few because that is the sequel to The Will of the Many. And The Will of the Many was my favorite book from 2023. So I am very excited to get to the Strength of the Few because I want to know what happens. The end of The Will of the Many is a bit of a reveal, a shocker, and I don't know what the author's going to do. I also found out that this series is going to be a quartet instead of a trilogy, which is exciting, and that means that there has to be even more story. So yeah, exciting things are happening in the world of James Islington, so I can't wait to see what he does with the series next. Question number 4 is, what books do you want to read prior to the end of the year? I have so many, but I'll give you a few, and I will specify that they're going to be on my physical TBR because, as I said, with Bucket Listathon coming up, that is my goal, to make sure I'm focusing on the books on my shelves, because currently I think I had 31 books on my physical TBR the last time I counted, and I want that number to be 20 or less by the end of the year. So I've got some work to do. The first book I will mention is The Engines of War. This is the last book in the Age of Uprising series, and so it finishes the series for me, and it is quite chunky. I have several chunky books on my physical TBR that I need to read, so I'm sure that I won't get through all of them, but a girl can dream. I absolutely adore this series. I've had such a fun time with it. It follows politics of a realm that is in the midst of war. You are following a noble family, 5 different POVs in each book. And there's so much more than that. The worlds or the kingdoms that you're in have different types of magic systems and problems of a variety of things that are happening with different cultures. And I've had a blast. So I can't wait to see where it ends. I'm a little sad that it's ending because I have had such a fun time with it. The next one is The Book That Held Her Heart, which is by Mark Lawrence. It's also the end of a series for the library series. And I have dearly loved every book. The Book That Wouldn't Burn was my second favorite book in 2023, which was a 5-star. The Book That Broke Her Heart or The Book That Broke the World was a 4.75 star. Which is absolutely phenomenal. I loved where Mark Lawrence took the story. And then the third book in the series, We Shall See, but I haven't picked it up yet. It came out earlier this year, so I don't know what I'm waiting for. I think I'm just a little intimidated because it is the ending of a series that I've just dearly loved. So, but it needs to get read by the end of the year. And the last book that I'll mention for my physical TBR, or a book that I want to read by the end of the year, is the second Delegate Dream department store. It's called the Delegate Dream Making District. I've absolutely loved the Delegate Dream department store. I've reread it. It's a 5-star book. And I just think it's very sweet about a girl who works in a retail store that sells dreams to people, and the importance of dreams, the importance of just community and listening to what people need. I really, really loved it. And so I can't wait to see what a dream making district involves, if we get to see different retail stores, if we get to see more of the communities surrounding the department store that we got in the first book. I don't know where we're gonna go, but I know it's gonna be a cozy and just very sweet time. So I'm excited about that one. Question number 5, is there a book that you still think could shock you and become your favorite book of the year? I would like to say that any book I pick up, I am hoping that it's going to be a good book. I don't know that I hope that every book is my favorite, but I have a few that have come across my eyeballs recently that I do think have potential. The first one is a Brandon Sanderson, which anytime I read a Sanderson, I do think that it has potential because I've loved so many of his stories, and that's Isle of the Emberdark. So I honestly couldn't tell you what it's about at this point in time. I've read the synopsis and I know I was excited about it, but I haven't read it since then. And it is almost on my Libby, like it's awaiting, I think it says available soon. So I should be able to get to it by the end of the year, and it could be a favorite. Next is Salt Crop, which is by the author of, if I can find it, The Stardust Grail, which I really loved. And I really enjoy this author's writing style. I read The Deep Sky as well, which wasn't quite my favorite. I still think I like Stardust Grail better, but Salt Crop is featuring two or three sisters who are in a world that is struggling with climate, and they are separated and they have to figure out how to get back to each other. So I know it's like a story of family, and I don't know, just the way it was described, I'm like, this has the, sorry, not this one. This one I did love, but Salt Crop has the ability, I think, to become an all-time favorite. We'll see. I might be putting a little bit too much pressure on that book, but I hope that it's a favorite. And then I think I had one more. Oh, I also had The Recipes of an Unexpected Afterlife, which just sounds very cozy. It's about an orc, I think, who ends up dying, and he is living in the afterlife and decides to create a restaurant and cook for people to kind of bring the dead and supernatural creatures together. I think there's vampires and stuff as well within the world that he's in. And there's an orphan girl who ends up in his restaurant, and he has to do certain things to protect her. And I think the community comes together to help her. So I think because of the fact that it's cozy, and I've read like Bookshops and Bone Dust, Legends and Lattes, I've had good luck with cozy reads. I do think that this one has potential, and the cover just screams at me. I really want to purchase this book, but I'm making myself read it before I grab it for my shelves, but I think I'm gonna love it. And the last question in this tag is, have you already started to plan for 2026? And the answer is, of course. I don't know that I want to share so much of my plans for my channel because I will do like an end of year or beginning of year, like goals for next year, thoughts for the future and things like that video. So I don't want you guys to have to listen to it twice, but I'm thinking about some changes that I want to make, some events that I want to do, and definitely some reads that I want to pick up, because you know, it never ends. There's always another good book that you can pick up, and I'm very excited about the prospect of what's going to be published in 2026. What are my potential favorite reads that are out there just waiting for me to get to them? Once again, I would love it if you guys would answer these questions in the comments down below so I know what you think of the end of the year and what your books are that are on your list. Are you going to carry these into Bucket Listathon if you're participating? And if you're a creator, consider yourself tagged. I don't typically do like an actual tag, but I would love to see this. I haven't seen this tag on a ton of people's channel this year, and it kind of makes me sad because I do like it when people kind of recap some of the things that they're looking forward to in the last couple of months. If you're not feeling chatty but you still want to let me know that you're here, leave me a little calendar emoji in the comments down below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a lovely evening, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!